While in Mesopotamia with his father, Sven Nelson, the famed archaeologist Kent unwittingly awoke Nabu from suspended animation by releasing Nabu. A poisonous gas was released, killing Kent's father but leaving him unharmed. Nabu took pity on Kent, where he erased Kent's memory of his father and raised Kent as his apprentice, making him become Dr. Fate, Sorcerer Supreme of Earth. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the comic book origins of Kent Nelson, aka Dr. Fate. In 1928, Kent Nelson was born to Celestine Babcock Nelson, a spiritualist, and Sven Nelson, an archaeologist. Sometime after his birth, his mother died of unknown causes. In 1940, while on an archaeologist dig in Mesopotamia, Sven Nelson, along with then 12-year-old Kent Nelson, stumbled upon a temple belonging to Nabu. The natives were scared to even enter the temple and avoided it at all costs, but that did not scare Sven Nelson, for he did not believe in magic. While wandering around the temple, Kent stumbled upon a sarcophagus containing the body of Nabu, the wise. Kent decided to pull the lever that would waken Nabu. When Nabu awoke, a poisonous gas filled the temple, killing Sven Nelson but leaving Kent unharmed. Nabu wanted to train Kent as his apprentice, but Kent did not want powers or to become Nabu's apprentice. All he wanted was his father back. Nabu erased all memory of Sven Nelson from Kent's mind. In the course of 1 week, Nabu transformed Kent into a fully grown man and taught him the mystic arts. The last wish of Nabu was for Kent to unleash all of his power on him, but Kent could not harm his master, for he grown attached to Nabu. Nabu then brought back Kent's memories of his father, and Kent attacked Nabu with a fit of rage. During that time, Nabu revealed his true origins to Kent. He was really a lord of order, and he then explained the circumstances of Sven's death and the never-ending battle between order and chaos. As a parting gift, Nabu entrusted Kent with a golden helmet and amulet and told him that those two things would grant him all the powers that he possesses. His first adventure as Dr. Fate was when he rescued Inza Kramer from Wotan, an evil sorceress. The two fell in love and soon married. Together they settled in an invisible tower Kent constructed with his powers, called the Tower of Fate, in Salem, Massachusetts. From this sanctum, he embarks out fighting crime and supernatural evils as the hero, Dr. Fate. In 1941, Kent would meet the Spectre, and together they combined forces to destroy a military gateway to the Netherworld. That was Kent's first encounter with a hero of his time. The two would later go on to serve with one another in the JSA. In 1941, Dr. Fate becomes one of the founding members of the Justice Society of America. In 1942, he begins to feel the helmet is taking control of him when he wears it and gives it up for a half-face version. While operating with this helmet, he loses most of his magic abilities, mystic senses, and can cast spell when in areas of power. He is restricted to the powers his body has from Nabu's magic alterations, super strength and vulnerability, and the ability to levitate himself and other objects. Dr. Fate remained active within the group up until the middle of the decade, when he withdrew in the year 1945. By the end of the decade, he had withdrawn completely from public activities. During that time, he became a physician, and in 1963, he would rejoin the JSA, while his teammates Kent and Inza's aging process had seemed to stop due to the powers of fate. By this time, he has regained the full helmet of Nabu, and with it has full power. In 1987, Kent founded the JLI, Justice League International, along with Black Canary, Earth's newest Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, Batman, Martian Manhunter, Blue Beetle, Ted Kord, Captain Marvel, Mr. Miracle, and rounding out the team was the new Dr. Light. Shortly after, the team also gained Captain Atom and Booster Gold. During his time with the Justice League, he helped them stop Gray Man from destroying the world. By the late 1980s, the war between chaos and order had been growing. Kent realized it was Yala Kuga, the final age of man. The strain was so enormous on Kent and Inza that it caused them to age rapidly. By later that year, the strain was unbearable on Inza, so she committed suicide to relieve the strain on her. Her suicide devastated Kent and nearly caused him to commit suicide as well. Nabu, however, would not allow Kent to die, but knew he needed a new Dr. Fate because Kent was unable to accomplish the job in his current state. Reluctantly, Kent agreed to help Nabu in searching out a new protege. Eric Strauss was chosen to become the new Fate. During that time, Kent discovered for the time that Fate was meant to be a triad of man, woman, and fate. He was able to break the hold Nabu had over him and allowed Eric and his lover Linda to become the Dr. Fate. Kent was finally allowed to die because Nabu found a new host for himself. When the JSA re-establishes itself in the modern age of heroes, Dr. Fate is among the members who return. Though he has become increasingly erratic and withdraw from society, he still commits himself protecting the Earth against supernatural threats. As Dr. Fate, an enemy seeking to put an end to the Lord of Order, puts in motion things that will destroy the bond between Kent and his wife Inza. The intent is to ensure that once Kent knows that Fate has caused the loss of his love, he will no longer be willing to host to the Lord of Order. Dr. Fate realizes in time and saves Inza. During this time that Nelson faces a threat that the power of order alone is not enough to hold the day. Dr. Fate must fuse with his wife so that he has the power of life and love as well. It is discovered later that this was the intended way for Fate to exist. In the merged form, the essence of Nabu in the helmet no longer retains total control of the mortal host and is more of a guide. So are you a fan of Kent Nelson, aka Dr. Fate? Make sure to let me know down in the comments below, and of course, as always, I would love to see you all next time.
If only